I learned I was pregnant the same week my brother sold my future. Now a marriage contract waited under my hand. Dante Moretti's name already signed. Mine still empty. Your brother's debt ends when you become my wife, he said. The father of my child was his enemy. The child inside me was a secret that could start a war. I looked at the paper, looked at Dante. One signature would save my brother and trap my unborn child in a lie. Dante did not rush me. Predators never chase what cannot escape. The office smelled of polished wood and control. Mahogany desk. Floor-to-ceiling windows. City skyline under gray clouds. Dante sat across from me, still and composed. Dark hair swept back. Gray eyes steady. Expression unreadable. He wore a black suit without a tie. White shirt open at the collar. Gold watch. 3 rings. One carried the Moretti family crest. A lion holding a gun. He looked less like a man and more like a decision already made. I was 23 years old. I wore worn jeans and a sweater, too large for my frame. $17 in my bank account. 2 jobs, 60 hours a week. Never enough. Marco was my younger brother. 20 years old, reckless, afraid of consequences he never expected to face. Sign the paper, Arya, Dante said softly, or your brother repays what he owes one piece at a time. My breath caught. I lowered my eyes to the contract. Marriage. Legal union. Immediate effect. Residence transfer. Public acknowledgement. Private obedience. Terms written in precise language. Every line designed to remove uncertainty. 1 week ago, Marco stumbled home with injuries on his face. 2 men had cornered him behind a casino. 3 days to repay $200,000. No extensions. He said he believed he could recover the loss. Said he had a method. Said luck would return. Luck never returned. I went to the casino myself. Asked who controlled the debt. They told me a name spoken like a warning. Dante Moretti, ruler of Nuova Roma's underworld. I offered to work. To repay over time. They found that amusing. Then Victor approached me. Dante's right hand. Large frame. Scar across his jaw. Measured voice. The boss wants to meet you, he said. I expected negotiation. Dante offered a solution instead. Marry me, he said. Debt erased. I refused. He accepted my refusal with calm indifference. Your brother has 2 days, he added. That same morning, I held a pregnancy test in trembling hands. Positive, unavoidable, life-changing. 3 months pregnant. Luca's child. The man I loved. The man I could never reveal. Luca belonged to the Rinaldi family. Rivals to the Moretti empire. He believed I was simply a waitress from the docks. I believed he worked in shipping. Truth arrived later. A news broadcast. His name, his role, his world had disappeared from his life before he could ask why. 1 week later, I discovered the child. 1 week after that, Marco confessed his debt, and now I sat here, deciding which future to sacrifice. If I sign, I asked quietly. Marco's debt is erased completely. Completely, Dante said. He remains unharmed. He remains alive, Dante replied, provided he creates no further obligations. Fair terms in a world without fairness. What do you gain from this? I asked. Dante studied me as if evaluating structure and stability. A public message, he said. You will live in my home. Wear my name. Attend my events. The city will see that loyalty is rewarded and defiance is corrected. And privately, you will follow my direction, he said. Without resistance, my fingers trembled around the pen. Will you harm me? Dante leaned forward slightly. His voice lowered but did not harden. I will claim responsibility for you, Arya, and I maintain what is mine. Sign the paper. Save your brother. Secure your child's future. He framed it as protection. He delivered it as inevitability. I thought of Marco. I thought of the life growing inside me. I signed my name. Arya Santos. Dante added his signature beneath mine. Victor witnessed. Legal binding immediate. We marry tomorrow, Dante said. Noon, private ceremony. Tomorrow. My voice fractured. I do not postpone outcomes, he said. He stood and came around the desk. Offered his hand. His grip was warm, firm, certain. He did not release me immediately. You will be safe in my residence, he said. Safer than you have ever been. Understand this clearly. I nodded. Double quotes. Victor will take you home, Dante continued. Prepare what you need. Tomorrow, you move. The drive back felt unreal. Black car, dark windows, silent city passing by. Marco waited on the couch when I entered the apartment. Television light flickering across his face. Did he agree to a payment plan? He asked. I looked at him. The boy I had raised, protected, forgiven. I am marrying him tomorrow, I said. Your debt is erased. His expression collapsed into shock. Then regret. Then fear. You cannot do that, he said. I already did, I answered. I went to my room, closed the door, sat on the bed. My hand rested over my stomach. Small, hidden, real. I will keep you safe, I whispered. No matter what I must become. That night I packed one suitcase. I did not sleep at sunrise. The city looked unchanged, but everything in my life had already shifted. Tomorrow I would become Arya Moretti, wife to a powerful man, mother to a hidden truth and secrets I had learned always demand a price. Chapter 2. The ceremony lasted 11 minutes. Judge Patterson read from a card and asked if I took Dante as my husband. I said I do. He asked if Dante took me as his wife. He said I do. Rings were exchanged. A gold band settled on my finger, heavy, cold. You may kiss the bride. Dante's hand cupped my jaw and lifted my face. His lips touched mine, brief, controlled, unmistakably claiming. In front of Marco, Victor, and the judge, a contract became reality. Then it was finished. I was married. Dante drove us to the compound himself. Black car, leather seats, silence. The east side faded into towers. Then estates guarded by distance and money. The Moretti compound occupied 5 acres, walls, gates, cameras, guards, a mansion of stone and columns, windows watching like silent witnesses. Victor opened the gates. We parked before marble steps. Dante opened my door and offered his hand. I accepted, stepped out, looked up at my new life. Welcome home, Mrs. Moretti. Inside, everything was beautiful and cold. Marble floors, dark wood, leather furniture, art without warmth. A woman in a gray uniform approached, older, composed, observant. This is Clara, Dante said. She manages the house. She will show you to our room. Our room. Not mine. Ours. My stomach tightened. The child? He could not know. Not yet. I am tired, I said. May I rest before tonight? Dante studied me with quiet precision. You have 2 hours, he said. Prepare yourself. I will return at 8. He left through a side hall. The door closed behind him. Clara guided me upstairs, down a long corridor, into a vast bedroom. King bed, dark linens, fireplace sitting area, a closet larger than my former apartment. My single suitcase rested on the bed. The master expects you ready by 8, Clara said. When she left, silence filled the room. 2 hours before everything changed. I showered and dressed in the simplest nightgown I owned. Not an invitation. Armor disguised as softness at 8, exactly. The door opened. Dante entered in dark trousers and a white shirt, sleeves rolled. He stopped in front of me. Are you afraid of me? He asked. Yes, good fear keeps you careful. He stepped closer. Stand. I obeyed. His presence filled the space. Steady, controlled, undeniable. His hand traced my jaw, then my neck. Observing, assessing, he leaned closer and inhaled near my throat. I froze. Dante stilled, slowly pulled back. His eyes sharpened. You smell different, he said quietly. Not wrong, different. His palm rested against my stomach. How far along? He asked. 3 months, I whispered. He repeated the words slowly, processing, measuring consequence. You married me while carrying another man's child. I needed time, I said. To protect everyone? To protect who? He asked the child. Your brother? Yourself? All of them. He stepped away and walked to the window. Shoulders tense. Silence, heavy. Whose child? He asked without turning. I hesitated, then answered Luca Rinaldi. Dante crossed the room in 2 steps. His hand closed around my throat, not harming, only holding. A warning without motion. Say that again? Luca Rinaldi. He released me and paced once across the room. You brought my enemy's child into my house, he said. You never asked if I was pregnant, I replied. You asked if I would marry you? I agreed. He stopped moving. I should remove every threat to my position, he said evenly. That would be the logical decision. But you will not, I said. His eyes narrowed slightly. And why is that? Because you keep your word, I answered. You chose me. You signed the contract. A long silence followed. Then he smiled, sharp, thoughtful. You are either very brave or very reckless, he said. He moved toward the door. Where are you going? To learn everything about you and Luca Rinaldi, he replied. Every meeting. Every connection? Every detail. He paused. You are my wife. This room is yours. But tonight, nothing more happens. The child is mine, I said quietly. We will determine what that means, he answered. He opened the door. Victor. Victor appeared instantly. Find everything on Luca Rinaldi, Dante said. I want complete information, and I want to know what he knows. Victor nodded and left. Dante looked at me once more. Your brother lives. The marriage stands. But this situation is not finished. He exited. The lock clicked. I sat on the bed and placed both hands over my stomach. I will protect you, I whispered. Outside the door, Dante's voice carried through the hall, controlled. Furious. Find Luca. I want to meet the man who crossed into my life. Chapter 3. I did not sleep. I lay in the wide bed listening to footsteps in the hall. Voices, doors opening and closing. Phone calls. Raised tones quickly suppressed. At 3 a.m, the bedroom door opened. Dante entered fully dressed. Eyes red, exhausted but alert. Get up, he said. I sat upright. What? Get dressed? We are leaving. I pulled on jeans and a sweater. My hands would not stay steady. Dante watched without speaking. Victor waited in the hall with 2 armed men. We moved downstairs, outside, into the car. Dante drove. Victor in the front seat. I sat in the back between the guards. Where are we going? I asked. No one answered. 20 minutes later, we reached the warehouse district. Empty streets. Metal buildings. Floodlights humming. A warehouse door stood open. Lights spilled onto the pavement. Inside, the space was mostly bare. Concrete floor. High ceiling. Steel shelves. And in the center, a chair. A man sat bound to it. Luca, my breath caught. 3 months since I had seen him. He looked familiar and broken at once. Bruised face, split lip, torn clothes. He had resisted Arya. His voice was rough with shock. He struggled against the restraints. What is happening? Dante stepped in front of me, blocking Luca's view. You do not speak to her, Dante said evenly. You speak to me. Then he moved aside. But she will witness this, he added. Consequences should be understood. I did not know, Luca said quickly. I looked for you. You disappeared. You assumed she left by choice, Dante replied. An understandable mistake. Luca's eyes found mine. Pain, confusion, relief, all at once. I thought I failed you, he said quietly. She learned who you were, Dante said. Your world, your position. I never meant her harm, Luca answered. I care about her. Dante's patience ended. His strike was swift and controlled. Luca's head snapped to the side. You do not define her place, Dante said calmly. That is not your role. Luca tasted blood and lifted his head again. Did she choose this? He asked. Or was she given no option? I offered her terms, Dante said. She accepted them. He crouched to Luca's level. Tell me what you knew, he continued. Did you know she was carrying a child? Luca froze. What? 3 months, Dante said. Did you know? No, Luca whispered. His gaze searched for me. Arya, is it true? Tears blurred my vision. Yes, I said softly. I found out after I left. Everything happened too fast. You did not tell him, Dante said, rising. But you had time to marry me? You gave me no time, I answered. You gave me a choice I could not refuse. Silence settled over the room. Victor, Dante said, without looking away from me. Take her outside. No, I said quickly. Please do not harm him. He did not know. He crossed into my life, Dante replied. That has weight. I was not your wife then, I said. I was trying to survive. He held my gaze a moment longer. You will go to the car, he said, or you will remain and watch every decision I make. Victor guided me gently toward the exit. Luca watched me as I was led away. I would have protected you, he said. Both of you? I know, I answered. I am sorry. Outside, I waited in the car. 10 minutes, 15, 20. Dante emerged alone. No visible trace of conflict. He entered the driver's seat and pulled away. Is he alive? I asked. Yes. Why? Dante drove in silence before answering. Because removing him changes nothing, he said. You are here. The child is here. Outcomes are already set. What did you tell him? The truth, Dante said. That you are my wife? That the child will carry my name, and that distance from you is now in his best interest. He paused. I also told him why you chose this path. That you sacrificed for family? He understood. My chest tightened. He deserved better. So did you, Dante said quietly. We returned to the compound before dawn. At the bedroom door, he stopped. Tomorrow, we meet a doctor, he said. I want confirmation and care arranged. And after that, we determine the future based on facts, not assumptions. You could end the marriage, I said. Protect your reputation. I could, he replied, but I will not. Why? He considered the question. Because you asked me to spare a man who matters to you, he said. And you still returned here? I am your wife, I said. Yes, he answered, and I do not abandon what I claim responsibility for. Even when circumstances are complicated, he stepped back. Rest. Tomorrow requires clarity. The door closed. I placed my hand over my stomach. Your father is a good man, I whispered, and the man I married, he is something else entirely. Outside, Dante's voice carried faintly through the hall. Double security, he instructed. No unnecessary conflict. Maintain distance. I fell asleep in a guarded house, between past and future, uncertain which one would claim me first. Chapter 4. The doctor arrived at the compound the next morning. Dr. Ellis was an older woman with steady hands and a calm voice. She asked no unnecessary questions. She examined me, confirmed the pregnancy, and recorded the details. 12 weeks, she said. Healthy development. Estimated due date in late August. Dante remained in the corner throughout the examination, silent, observing when the ultrasound began. The room dimmed slightly. A small shape appeared on the screen, moving, alive. Would you like to hear the heartbeat? Dr. Ellis asked. I nodded. The sound filled the room. Rapid, strong, undeniable. I glanced toward Dante. He was watching the monitor without expression. But he did not look away. Everything appears normal, Dr. Ellis said. She handed me a printed image, a blurred shape in black and white. My child. She packed her equipment and departed quietly. Victor escorted her out. Silence settled over the room. Dante spoke first. That child belongs to Luca. Yes. You still care about him? Yes. He absorbed the answer without reaction and walked to the window. If he asked you to leave, Dante said, would you go to him? I considered the truth carefully, before the marriage. Yes, I said, without hesitation, but now I made a promise, and the child needs stability, not conflict. Practical, Dante said, not sentimental. I am finished with sentiment, I replied. It brought me here. He gave a short, quiet laugh. You are stronger than you appear, he said. I do not have a choice. Dante returned and examined the ultrasound image in my hands. This child will carry my name, he said. Moretti, not Rinaldi. Agreed. You will not meet Luca alone. Agreed. You will fulfill your role publicly. No one learns the truth. I understand. He returned the photo. Then we proceed. I studied him for a moment. Why keep me here? I asked. Why not end the arrangement? He was silent longer this time because I am accustomed to silence in this house, he said at last. And you are the first person in years who has spoken to me without calculation. That is a minimal requirement for a marriage, I said. It is sufficient, he answered. He moved toward the door, paused, then added, I also do not surrender what I have claimed, especially not to rivals. So, I am leverage. No, he said. You are my wife. He opened the door. Victor will take you shopping. You require appropriate clothing. When he left, I looked down at the ultrasound image. We are still here, I whispered to the baby. That counts for something. Victor drove me to stores I had only seen from outside. Polished floors. Quiet staff. Price tags I never read aloud. He waited nearby while I chose dresses, suits, and shoes. Everything purchased without discussion. Everything precise. When we returned, Victor carried the bags to my room. Mrs. Moretti, he said, pausing at the door. May I speak freely? Yes. The boss is not gentle, Victor said. But he is consistent. Loyalty earns protection. Disloyalty has consequences. Do not stand on the wrong side of him. I will not. He nodded once. And the child, he added, he will care for it. He does not abandon responsibility. Thank you, Victor. He left quietly. I unpacked the clothes and hung them in the large closet. Later, I tried on a simple black dress, structured, elegant. In the mirror, I saw someone unfamiliar. Someone who belonged to this world. Dante returned late that night. I was reading when he entered. He showered and changed, then lay on his side of the bed. Distance remained between us. Aria, he said. Yes. Luca sent an offer today. Through intermediaries, money, territory, terms for your return. My pulse quickened. What did you tell him? I declined, Dante said. You are my wife. Relief and tension arrived together. He will not stop, Dante continued. This may escalate. He turned his head toward me. You still wish to remain here? There is risk everywhere, I said. Here at least, the danger is visible. He considered that. You trust me? I trust your consistency, I said. That is enough for now. His hand reached across the space between us and briefly closed around mine. A single, deliberate gesture. Then he withdrew. Rest, he said. Tomorrow brings attention we cannot avoid. I lay still after he turned away. Outside, the compound was quiet. Inside, I felt a faint movement beneath my hand. Light, uncertain, real. I hope I chose correctly, I whispered. Dante did not respond, but he did not sleep either. Chapter 5. Luca. Found out about the pregnancy on Thursday. He showed up at the compound gates, unarmed, alone, demanded to see. Dante. Victor called Dante. Dante went to meet him, told me to stay inside. I did not listen. I watched from the upstairs window, saw Dante walk out, saw Luca standing at the gate, 10 feet between them, Dante's guards behind him, no one from Luca's side. They talked for 10 minutes. I could not hear words, but I saw Luca's face, saw the moment Dante told him. Luca doubled over, like he had been shot, put his hands on his knees, stayed like that. Dante stood, waited. Finally, Luca straightened. Looked at Dante. Even from this distance I could see his face was wet. Tears. He said something. Dante shook his head, said something back. Luca turned. Looked up at the house. Found me in the window. We stared at each other. Half a football field between us. Walls and gates and guards and choices between us. He put his hand on his chest, over his heart, mouthed something, "I love you." I put my hand on my stomach, mouthed back, "I am sorry." Luca nodded, turned, walked to his car, drove away. Dante came back inside. Found me still at the window. He asked me to let you go, Dante said. Offered me everything he has. Money, territory, his own life. Said he would die if it meant you and the baby could be free. What did you say? I said you are already free. You chose to stay. You chose me. Dante stood beside me, looked out at where Luca's car had been. He did not believe me, so I told him to ask you himself. You would let me speak to him. No. But I would let him hear your answer. Dante pulled out his phone, opened a recording, pressed play. Luca's voice. Dante, please let me talk to her. Just once. I need to hear her say she wants to stay. Dante's voice. She is upstairs. In our bedroom. Door is unlocked. She could leave any time. She chooses to stay. Luca's voice breaking. Why? Why would she stay with you? Dante's voice, softer. Because I keep my promises. And because she is strong enough to choose safety over love. Respect her choice. Luca, walk away. The recording ended. I looked at Dante. You recorded it. I record everything. Trust no one. He put the phone away. But I meant what I said. You could leave. I would not stop you. Your brother's debt is paid. You owe me nothing, except I am your wife. Contracts can be broken. I was quiet. Thought about it. Really thought that Luca was the father of my baby. He loved me. Would give me everything. But Dante was right. Luca's world was dangerous. Especially now. Especially with me as leverage between families. Dante was dangerous too. But controlled, calculating. He thought 10 steps ahead. And something else. Something I did not want to admit when I woke up in this house. I felt safer than I ever had in the East Side. Safe from hunger. Safe from violence. Safe from debt collectors. I am staying, I said. Dante nodded. Did not look surprised. Then we move forward. As husband and wife, the baby will be mine in every way that matters. Name, protection, future, and love. I asked. I do not love anyone, Arya, but I will care for what is mine. And you and the baby. You are mine. He held out his hand. Deal? I took his hand. Shook it. Deal. Something changed between us that day. Hard to explain. We were not in love, but we were something, partners, allies. Over the next weeks, Dante changed. He came to doctor appointments, sat in the corner, listened to the heartbeat, looked at ultrasounds. T asked questions. What did I need? Was I comfortable? Did I sleep well? He moved his work calls out of the bedroom, let me rest, brought me food when I was too tired to go downstairs. One night I woke to find him sitting beside the bed, watching me sleep. What are you doing? I asked. Making sure you were breathing, he said, like it was obvious. Why? Because Dr. Ellis said sleep apnea can happen in pregnancy, and I want to be sure. Dante, that is actually sweet. He frowned. It is practical. If you die, I have to find a new wife. Paperwork is annoying, but he smiled when he said it. Small, real. Marco came to the compound once. 4 weeks after the wedding, asked for money again. Dante met him at the gate. I watched from the window, saw Dante's hand on Marco's chest, pushing him back. Marco stumbled, fell, got up. Dante said something. Marco paled, ran to his car, drove away. Dante came back inside. Found me watching? What did you say to him? I asked. That his sister married me to save his worthless life? And if he ever asks her for anything again, I will kill him slowly. With her watching, Dante, he will not bother you again. He walked past me, stopped. You sacrificed everything for him, and he learned nothing. You deserved better than him. You sound like Luca. Luca is an idiot, but he is not wrong about that. That night I felt the baby kick. Strong, undeniable. I gasped. Put both hands on my stomach. Dante looked up from his laptop. What is wrong? The baby? It kicked. He closed the laptop. Walked over. May I? I nodded. Took his hand. placed it on my stomach, right where I felt the movement. We waited. 10 seconds, 20, then a kick. Right under Dante's palm, his eyes widened. I felt it. He is strong, I said. Or she. Dante kept his hand there, waiting for another kick. It came, he laughed. Actual surprise and joy? That is amazing, he said. It is, isn't it? He looked at me, hand still on my stomach. Thank you for letting me feel that. You are my husband, and you will be this baby's father. In all the ways that matter, Dante's thumb rubbed gentle circles on my belly. I will keep you both safe. I promise. Whatever it takes. I know. He took his hand away, went back to work, but I saw him smile the rest of the night. 6 months until the baby was born. 6 months to see if a forced marriage could become something real, or if we would destroy each other trying. I put my hand where Dante's had been, felt another kick. Your mother made a choice, I told the baby. I chose stability over love, safety over passion. I hope I chose right. I hope you will forgive me if I did not. Behind me, Dante spoke. Did not look up from his laptop. You chose right, Arya, and the baby will know that, because I will make sure of it. I turned, looked at him. Promise. He finally looked up. Gray eyes steady, certain, I promise. And I believed him. The E&D teaser for part 2 7 months later. I went into labor at 3 a.m. Dante drove me to the hospital himself, held my hand through every contraction, did not leave my side at 6:47 a.m. Our daughter was born. Dark, curly hair, brown eyes, Luca's face. Dante held her first, looked down at her, something breaking and mending in his expression. She is perfect, he said. She is not yours, I reminded him gently. She is now. He looked at me. Her name? Isabella, I said. After your mother? Dante's eyes went bright, suspiciously bright. You remembered. You told me once. In passing, I remembered. He leaned down, kissed my forehead. Thank you. Outside the hospital room, Victor stood guard, and beyond him, Luca Rinaldi waited, because he had a right to meet his daughter. But that is a story for another day. For now, we were 3. Then, for a family built on contracts and promises and choices made in desperation, it was not perfect, but it was ours, and maybe, just maybe, that was enough. Dante kept his word. I kept mine, and our daughter. She changed everything. If you stayed for the whole story, you belong here. Subscribe so you never miss what happens next when Luca meets Isabella for the first time.